everybody, this is Tambiota coming at you with another third-party Transformers video review. This time I have Fansproject's Causality Crossfire line CA-13 diesel and military multiplexer kit. Mouthful. Yeah, finally came in. Here you can see the box, and on the front you have this little window where you can see him in his vehicle mode, and a nice little artist rendition of him in his robot mode, along with his added pieces, weapon pieces, or whatever you want to call them. On the side here we have him in his robot mode, and then on the back we have various pictures of him in various poses with various pieces. Yeah, so next side, here we have him drawn in the same pose as the picture on the other side of the box. And on the top here we have that picture again that's on the front of the box, and on the bottom we have some logos and such and some warning labels. Let's go ahead and get into this because I hope this isn't too long, but let's go ahead and get into this and check them out. Alright, and here's Diesel out of the box and in his vehicle mode. The first thing that you will notice once you get him out of the box is that he is pretty hefty. He's got a lot of bulk and weight to him, and mainly that's because this whole back trailer part is full of stuff. It is not hollow at all. Also inside the box you're going to get his little data card, and on the front you got the picture of him, and on the back we have a little bio, and you can pause that and read that if you like. And then we have his instruction booklet, which is a nice colored instruction booklet. There are some steps that are missed. It's not too bad. I was able to figure it out without too many problems or anything like that. In the front, you'll notice that there's another little bio with some more info about him and his motor squad and military multiplexer stuff. Yeah, and that bio, that stuff is actually different from what's on the card. And then something that was also added, I got mine from TF Source, and something else that was added was his extra gun piece right here, because they were having problems with the guns not fitting in the hands. So it's actually, if you kind of, I don't know if you can see this, but the holes are actually, they're having problems with the handle of the gun fitting into Intimidator's hands. So they remolded this handle and moved the little notch that's in the handle of the gun to a little bit lower, so now it fits. I have my original in the bag, and I have the replacement on him already. He does roll. Wheels are all working and stuff. Let me give you a quick 360 degrees view of him. So here's the front real quick, and the other side, and here's the bottom, and on the bottom you can see the sword hilt and his shield / chest piece, and actually and on the back this is his gun pieces. Other than, kind of seeing where the sword is, the pieces are hidden very well. Like, even looking underneath here, you can't really see much of his robot mode or anything like that. You can kind of tell that these are legs, that this is his hips, but it's very well hidden, all that stuff. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. Let me go ahead and transform him for you. I've transformed him a couple of times, but I'm going to go ahead and keep the instructions here with me just in case I need to refer back to them. First thing you're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take this off and set this off to the side, and then we're going to take, at this portion right here, and just kind of pull it apart like that. And then what you can do is, with this trailer piece right here, you can take this back section and you can pull this off, this little piece right here. You can do that, pull that off, and these actually become pieces of the gun. But you can actually take and can put it in here and actually make a mini diesel. So I don't know, I just decided to allow this to fit on there also. So get this off now. Alright, so we'll take those off and we'll set those off to the side. Okay, so now starting up here, I'm going to take and push this in a little bit, and these are kind of these little wedge things in there, so you kind of need to unwedge those. Get your finger in here and unwedge it. Alright, so that okay. Alright, so now there are there's a tab right there, and that tabs into there, and there's just tabs all over the place that they don't tell you about on this guy, that you kind of have to pull. You can take and pull right there like that, and then you're just going to fold and collapse these pieces up on themselves like that, and then take and rotate this around like that, and then you're going to take these wheels, flip them in like that. Instructions, this is one of the places that the instructions don't show you like what to do. I don't push them all the way in at this point, because this little tab right here, it'll actually get in the way with him in robot mode, so I tend to keep it like about right here with it like this, and then whenever I go into combination mode, then I put it all the way, because you need to have it that way, and I'll show you later. Alright, so then next what we're going to take is we're going to rotate down these hips right here. So then with all that rotated down, then we're going to take, there's a lot of things holding this together. There's this part right here, which you have to undo right here. You just pull that forward, and then there is underneath here, I don't know if you can see it. I can kind of see it, but I don't know if you can see it. But there's another one of these kind of wedge things underneath this portion right here. So you kind of have to go, you can undo this right here, and then kind of go like that. See, there's that little wedge, and it wedges into under here, right here in this other part of the camper. Alright, so now with that undone, we're going to take and then rotate this portion down, and when doing that, we'll just take these and force those down also. So take those, force those down, and the first time that you kind of do this, it's all the ratchets and everything are on this piece right here, and it's a little scary just because it's just so thin, and it's not really reinforced. I've played with it a couple times. I don't think that it's actually going to break or anything. It's just scary the first time. So then after you do that, come back around to this side, and we're going to take, this stuff is all fiddly, we're going to take this portion right here and rotate that forward like that, and then rotate that portion forward like that, and then we're going to take at these two hinges right here, we're going to take and rotate that around like that, and then when you do that, this is going to plug into that little hole right there. Take it and snap in there, and then tab and hole. And then for the feet, come around here, we're going to take this and rotate it onto here, and then these two little notches are going to peg into there. Two notches into those two holes. Okay, and then we're going to take and then rotate this like this, and then there's a bunch of joints on this thing, and I want to make sure that you're able to see how to do this, but you're going to rotate it there, and then there's another one that you can rotate like that, and then there's there's a hole, and then there's a tab right there, hole right there. You're going to rotate and tab that in. So that tabs in, and then this is the front of the foot, so you're going to have to rotate that forward. But there's a little bit of a problem because there's a notch right there, and it kind of gets in the way, so whenever you have him transform, you kind of have to pull out his leg just a little bit like that so that he can stand up. So, and those ratchets are pretty strong also. So back to this joint again, rotate that back, and then hole and notch, and just push on it until it clicks, then rotate the foot forward, and then you're going to close up this panel right here, and trying to remember, yeah, there's nothing really that holds it closed, so you just go like that. Okay, that was it. I took it off camera because I noticed that I wasn't getting as much clearance back here with this heel, and I didn't pull this all the way forward on this joint right here, so I just pulled it a little bit forward, and I got that clearance that I needed. Alright, so next what I'm going to do is take, there's actually two hinges for the waist. There's a hinge right here, there's a lower hinge and an upper hinge. What we're going to do is we're going to take the lower hinge that rotates just the legs around and not these little leg guards. But rotate that around, and it's going to look weird because you're going to have the screws in the front, but that's the way that it's supposed to be. So, alright, so with that like that, then we're going to come over here to this portion. There is some hidden joints up in here. Underneath all this stuff there is a peg and hole, and you actually got to pull it up a little bit and get that up out of there. The first time I did it, I just grabbed it and yanked it, and I kind of mucked up that hole. It's not as square as that one, so that's something that you have to look out for. Alright, so once you have that, then at this portion right here, you're going to take and flip these shoulders to the up position like that, and then we'll come down here, lift this portion up, lift that flap down, do that for this side, lift that flap down, and then we're going to extend this portion right here. That's going to then force the hand out, and we'll do that on both sides. And then what you want to do is then twist it like that, and you're going to twist at this portion right here. Lower the arm down, arm, twist like that, and then next. Alright, so let me lift up the camera a little bit. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take the head, rotate it up, rotate it around, and then we're going to take and flip this panel up, and it's going to clip into this portion right here. It's going to clip into here, and then these two tabs are going to clip into here. So that'll hold the head from rotating back, or that'll keep the head from rotating back. And then rotate these two little pieces down, and then we're going to take and then pull this forward, and then there's two little tabs that tab into that portion right there. That there's two little tabs that tab into the hips right here. Take this forward, and then we'll come back here, and then take and just rotate these down like that. And that makes him a little back heavy, so, but actually he's standing up pretty well. Sometimes I have problems with him tipping back. Alright, so I'm going to move him back a little bit, and then we're going to bring in the trailer and all these other pieces. Actually, I'll just bring in the trailer right now. Go on to that. Alright, so for the trailer, it's actually really nice because the top and the bottom are exactly the same. So it doesn't matter, you can put this on the bottom you can put it on the top. Just, you just put both pieces on there. So it's got the peg holes and everything for both sides. So we'll pull this off, and you can see what I'm talking about. There's the peg right here, and it'll just peg in like that, and then now that, see, he fell backwards because he's back heavy, and now it's the bottom. So it's all in where you put the pieces. So let me go ahead and put that like that. Set these off to the side. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take at this hinge, the top part of the sword, as you can see on there, we're going to take and go like that. And as you can see, it's pretty much exactly the same, except for the fists are in here, and you have this little sword part. So we'll go ahead and take that sword part out, and that actually clips into that little hole right there. Alright, so these little pieces we got to pull out because it clips into the hand right there. And pull this up and pull it away from the hand, and then we can pull it up. And then to assemble the sword, just take the two flat pieces, line them up like that, push them together. The handle goes down here, and it can go either way. I don't know if I was off screen, but the tip of the sword, so you can go either way. And you just tab it in like that. This piece right here can become a shield, and there's just a handle right there that you can tab it into his hand. To make his gun, we'll just take and we'll pull off this piece, and then we'll slide this piece off, and then we have this piece, and then we'll take, which was the back doors, take and pull those apart and fold those in half, and those by themselves, you can have those be like two guns. I've heard some people describe them as shotguns. I know in instructions they don't show him dual wielding any kind of guns or anything like that, but you just take the clip. You're going to want to take this clip right here, and I'm trying to remember how I do this. Take and clip this side is really difficult because it has this piece on here that keeps it from actually flexing. Okay, so I've got that on. And then take this piece and snap that onto there like that. And then we're going to take this piece, pop it onto there. And then we'll take this piece, and it's going to go like that. I'll push it all the way down in there. And then you can just slide it all the way back, and then you have it kind of line up with this piece right here. And then take this piece with the notch. That notch is going to face down and go like that. So then he has this large gun then. And then that you can just peg into his hand. If it doesn't turn, you can peg it in his hand like this. And this piece is hard to peg in, so I don't really usually try to do that. Alright, so now we need to get these hands off. So we'll take the hands, pull back, and there's another tab inside here that I just kind of wiggle it just a little bit like that. There's a little peg hole right there and a little tab right there. Just kind of pull like that. Just kind of have to wiggle it a little bit and it'll pull out. Alright, so to split these guys in half, you're going to need to take this portion right here, and it's tabbed in right here into this little black part right here, and this piece, this gray piece, is tabbed into this black piece right here. So we're just going to take and pull this out as much as we can, and we're going to try to flip this around like that. And then that piece that came untabbed already. So pull back and flip this around. And we can take and then work this up just a little bit. There we go. And then with that done, then you can slide it apart, just kind of pushing those pieces apart. See, it slides from here out like that. So then for this piece, to make it so that it can actually fit on Diesel, you want to take it and take this little piece and move it back just a little bit. And then you're going to take these and rotate these up, and you're going to see these little pegs right here. They actually peg into a little notch right here underneath this missile. So if you just push it in, eventually you'll hear it click, and it didn't click that loud on that one. Let's see if it clicks on this one. Come on, rotate up. There we go. See, that clicked that time. And then we'll just push this forward as far as it'll go. And so we got one of those. And we'll just set this off to the side because I'll show these whenever I get both of those done. So again, we're going to pry these apart and then flip these little sections around. Alright, and then I'll show it from this side. You see how it wiggles right there? You just slide it apart. See? Alright. So set that to the side. Take this portion again, pull this back a little bit. Rotate these up, lock them into place. Push that forward as far as it'll go. Alright, and so for these parts, we got to take the fists, and the fists actually will lock into, lock in right here. So we're going to flip these down, take and fold these fingers up like that, and then just rotate them, and then actually there's two little holes right here, and that'll go into there like that. And you can just wrap this fingers around like that, or if you want to go and do it like that, you can. It's totally up to you how you place these fists in here. If you want an easy way to do it, you can just take this out, go like that, and then you can take and peg it in right there, and then this portion right here pegs into this hole right here. Oops. So peg that back in like that. Take that and peg that in. And then just take these fingers and you can just kind of wrap them around right here. Like I said, whatever you want to do. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to go for this other side, flip this around again. I'll go ahead and pull this out and fling it way over there. that pegged in there? Okay, it's pegged in there. Come on, finger. Alright. Alright, so it's all pegged in now. Alright, so now to put all this stuff on diesel, take and rotate that up just a little bit. Alright, you may have seen some other reviews where these things are pretty tough to get on his shoulder sometimes. The best way that I've found to actually get them on is to actually take and then push this portion in right here, like with your thumbnail or with something else. And sometimes I can get it on fairly easy. Sometimes it takes me a little bit. Alright. Just flip it around. You can flip it down like that or flip it up. Alright, so for the other side, there we go. Alright. Alright, so those are on, and then you can just take this little shield and place it on here, kind of like that. And then these two pieces, it doesn't matter which side you put it on because they both have these tabs that are sticking out, and there's a hole right here. So you're going to take and just peg those little tabs into that hole. Just like so. And then if you want to peg in the sword, I'm trying to remember how to do this. I haven't done this. Okay, so you take this and you flip this up like that, and then there's a little tab right there, and you can take and tab it into this portion, this portion right here. I don't know why you would want a big lightning rod sticking off your back, but if you want him holding everything and then being extremely back heavy again, you can put that sword on his back. So there he is, all armored up and everything. You know, you can take these and you can kind of flip them forward right there. You can see there's some missile pods in there, and you can act like those are lasers or something. I don't know. But let me show you just how far that sword sticks up off of his back. So it sticks up pretty high. Like I said, it's like a lightning rod coming off his back. But now let me take all this stuff off and show you how to transform him into Intimidator. I don't know if that's his unofficial name. That name doesn't show up anywhere in the instructions or anything like that, and mainly the only place it ever showed up was on pre-orders and stuff. I don't know if Fansproject leaked the name or anything like that, but it doesn't actually show up anywhere on the instructions. So we'll go back like that, and sometimes it's just this thing. It's actually easier sometimes just to pull that off, because you're going to need this apart for the transformation anyways. So alright, so pull that off. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off and set the fists and everything to the side. to myself, I was pulling it off on the wrong side. And the reason that you stick these on a certain way is because they actually lock into place. You can see that there's a little notch right here, and there's an indentation right here. So you actually stick them in like that, and they go in, and then when you twist them, they lock into place. So they're not going to come off, they're not going to pop off or anything like that. Unless you have the arms pointing backwards or something, but... So, take all this stuff off. And we'll go ahead and get into transforming him into Intimidator. Actually, before we do that, let me show off his articulation in this mode right here. And let me point out some things that I've kind of found that I don't really like. It's mainly just one thing, but... Starting at the head, he has a ball joint. Turn his head left and right, up and down. He has a joint right here to swivel. You can swivel it forward, backwards. There's another joint inside of there to swivel that out. There's a cut right here at the bicep, so you can swivel there. Double elbow joint. Then there is a hand swivel right here. Then coming down to here, there is, I'm sorry. There is a waist swivel right here. So you can swivel that, but it's being impeded right now by these things. But it will swivel. I don't know. It's just being impeded by these little panels right now. Then you have a double joint in the hip. So you have a joint in the hip that allows it to ratchet forward and then back. And then there's another joint that's in the leg that allows it to ratchet out. Come on, cooperate with me. Then there is a thigh swivel right here. And then coming down here, there is a knee joint, and you can get out to about that far on it. And it's easy going one way, really hard going back the other way. And then there's a ball joint right here on the foot, but it is kind of impeded a little bit by this little tab right here. And then you can kind of see, kind of what I don't really like is these shoulders. I wish that this portion right here would have been pushed back a little bit more, so that whenever you rotate, these shoulders like that, sometimes this joint right here wants to slide forward. So that's my one complaint about this thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this guy and show how to transform him into his combined mode, Intimidator. Alright, so let's start by detaching his waist, like so. Then we're going to flip down the chest. And then we'll flip around the head, and then just kind of leave it like that, because we're going to need to kind of manipulate the head just a little bit to get out Intimidator's head. Alright, so pull out Intimidator's head, fold down the crest on his head, and then what we're going to do is then fold up his arms, kind of like when it was in vehicle mode. So fold this in and then down like that. And we'll do the other side. Take the hand, flip that up like that. Then slide this, like that, fold it. Rotate this stuff down at the shoulders. And then we're going to take and hold this, and then hold this, and we're going to rotate the connector bit out to the other side. So then once that's done, then we're going to take and tab this portion right here into this little hole right here. And then these little bits right here have to be cradled in this section right here. So we'll take that. The first time I did this, it was a pain in the butt. Hopefully it won't be this time. Alright, so that's all pegged in. It looks like his head is staying pretty good, because that actually holds and keeps his head from falling down. So it looks good on there. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to take and then rotate right here at this portion right here, which is super scary. It's really tight. And alright, when it's like that, then we're going to take and then rotate these little panels around, and then rotate this forward. Come on. And then this will tab into here. Come on. Oh. Nope, that wasn't it. Come on. Nope, still not it. See, there's two little slots, and they slot in here, and then that tabs into there, so that it'll hold really well. If I can, there we go. Alright, so it's in there now. So we're going to come to the back right here, and these little portions will slide out all the way. We're going to slide that out all the way. And then now this is where I go ahead and take and level these out. Alright, so they're all leveled out, and then you're going to take these tabs right here, and they tab into here, and then this is going to peg into here. So flip that up. Make sure that all that stuff is lined up. Alright, so I gotta get that stuff lined up. Pull out. Okay, there it goes. Come on. There it goes. Alright, so and you'll see this, there's a little notch right there, and that will track in behind that little notch. And then that tabs into this portion right here. So, but you got to make sure that this is slid all the way out, because this is on a track and it'll slide in and out. So make sure it slides all the way out, and that it's tabbed into that portion right there. Alright, nope, didn't get it. There we go. Alright, so we're mostly there now. Alright, so the next we're going to focus on the feet. And so we're going to take these panels, flip out these panels, and then we're going to then rotate out these again forward like that. Alright, so next we have to take the feet, and we'll go ahead and rotate that forward right here, the little windshield part. I'm going to untab that, rotate this around like that, then we're going to rotate this portion some more, and it will tab, this little tab will tab into the side of the window right there on the cab. So let me show this to you again. So we're going to take and rotate this up, then rotate this around like that, and then take the foot, rotate it like that, and then rotate that like that, and then tab in the foot into that little window spot. Okay, so once that's done, Is that done? Then we can take and rotate these portions of the knees around like so. And then with that done, rotate this back down into there. And then we're going to take this portion, this panel right here, and it's going to lock into here and then peg into here. So that pegs into there and into that portion right there also. So you want to make sure you push it in there nice and tight. Alright, so for this foot, again, we're going to take at this joint and this joint, we're going to rotate the foot, or this little cab portion up. And then, since it was accidentally already collapsed down, you're going to collapse it down and then lock it into place again right there, tabbed into there. Alright, and then again, from back here, this tab is gonna go into here, and this is gonna go into here. And mainly that what that does is it keeps this joint right here from moving. Whenever you use the knee, it'll use the actual connector instead of this joint right here for the knee. So put him down. And then what we want to do is we want to find the shield piece. Take this. We're going to flick it like that and then flip this up. And this will actually tab, this portion right here will tab into this slot that was on the back of Diesel's head. And that'll make his chest plate that'll cover up that hole. And then now for making the legs, to make the feet, we're going to take these pieces right here, take and rotate that up. Then we'll take this section and it will rotate around like so. And then these, you're going to want to take and then put them together at the same time and then peg them into those little 4 spots. And then take these pieces and rotate it forward. And then those tab together. And then that makes the foot with a very large heel, which is very nice. So we'll do that again. Do it again. Take that, rotate that up, rotate this around. Take these like that, and then rotate these portions together. And then we're going to take this portion, pull right here to unconnect it, go like that. Then we're going to rotate that up, and then reconnect it. And then we'll go to the next one, do the same thing, pop this apart. The reason you have to pop this apart is because it actually locks it into place. When you connect it right there, you can see a little spot right there. So you have to unlock that and then put it back together and then lock it back, and that'll hold that joint and spot in place. And it actually rotates at this connector bit. You can see the little part going through there. It rotates right there for the actual knee. Very tight. Very tight. Okay. And then to connect it to the foot, you just take these 2 portions and tab them into there, like so. That's it. That's what I forgot. Oh gosh. I forgot something. I forgot a step. You have to take the whole waist and rotate it around. Oh my god. It's like, why does this connector not look like it's done right? So take this waist, and rotate it all the way around like so, so that this is now the front and these are the front. Alright, so then we're going to take and basically you're going to put on the legs backwards, and the legs actually for some reason they go on sometimes a lot easier than the hands, so it's really strange. So that's on, and then rotate that around, and you can see the legs are on a ball joint, so you just go like that. And alright, so for the legs, basically all we need to do is take car crash and T-bone. You really don't have to do much. You take them. I personally, it doesn't say that you have to pull the weapons out. You can actually leave the weapons in there. Most of the time I like to pull them out just so that I know where they are, but I'll just leave them in there for this time. So take and undo that, and then just kind of lean this forward a little bit like that. And then what you can do is, you see there's the triangle of holes. There's a large hole right here, 2 small holes, large hole right here, 2 small holes, and you're just going to take and do this from the side. You just take and put the hood in here. Right, so you just put the hood in here, and then you get that hole lined up, and then just slide them in, and you have all those holes lined up. See, there's a car crash on, and for T-bone you do the same thing. Pull this apart right here, push this forward a little bit, and then you take and line up these 3 holes with these 3 pegs. And there he has his legs fully built now. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and aim up now. Just raise my camera up actually. Alright, now for the arms, you need these 2 pieces, and you need the hands. And we'll get downforce. We'll go with downforce first. He needs a little bit more done. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to have him in car mode for the top half and then robot mode for the bottom half. But to do that, you actually have to kind of do a bit of stuff. So actually you want to split apart his arms. Okay, so his arms are split apart. And the reason that you have to do that is because you have to slide this down to actually get his feet out. So in order to slide that down, these tab into the windshield, so you have to undo that. Slide this, and it doesn't matter how many times I do this thing, I always, part of his gun fell out. That's what fell off. Every time I do this, his feet just pop off. And I don't know any better way to do this except just let one of those feet, hey, it didn't pop off. Well, there you go. And with that undone like that, then I'll take this other part of the gun out. Alright, so here's the other piece of the gun. Alright, so then once we have that done, clamps that back down. And put that back in like that. Alright, that's all back together. So now for the leg portion, flip the wheels down, and then take and flip that in, flip that around, flip that in. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the legs and take and put that like so. And I like to go like that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take this, there's a little notch on the wheel, so you take that notch, line it up with this portion right here, and then just push the wheel down. Just like that. and that'll keep the wheel from turning, and it'll keep the arm from spinning or doing whatever it does. I think it'll keep that joint a little tighter, so it won't be going like that. So we'll do that with the other side. Where are we going? Alright, so we're here. Tab that in. Like that. Take that, line it up with that, and push the wheel down. Alright, so next what we're going to do is take this hand right here and just tab it onto right there. Get it in between the legs, right on the hubs of his wheels. And once you have everything lined up, you just squeeze it together. And just turn that like that. And then we're going to take this connector. And there's two little tabs right there that'll go into here. So just put those on the waist. Okay, so, nope, not yet. Come on, get on there. Alright, so with that on there, then we're going to take and put this in the hole, and then these two pieces right here. So force that in, go like that. And now there's an arm. So I'll just set that off to the side, and we'll go ahead and build the other arm. But in the instructions, it shows you're just going to build his gun. I think that's right. And you just take and tab it onto right here. And that's what it shows for the instructions. Alright, so now we're going to take Last Chance. It's a little bit easier. You don't need to take apart the front part of his car to make his legs. So you're just going to take that, and first of all we're going to take out his gun pieces, because if we don't do that first, then it's just all going to pop apart. Take and then rotate that out like so. Okay, so now we're going to take and pop this apart, and you see there's like a little circle right here and part of a circle right here. I'm going to take this hand this time, and okay, so it's going to face this way like that, and then tabs into here, and it'll actually stay pretty well with just a little bit of friction. Take and then force these back together like so. And then what you want to do is you can take this, but I'm going to show you how to create the gun real quick. I don't want to take it apart and then put it back together. So gun, let me just tab this in right here real quick. Finish this arm portion. So that tabbed in, and then you're going to, again, put this in the hole, and these two tabs are going to tab into right here. Alright, so that's all tabbed in now. And so there's Last Chance as an arm. And if you want to fill it in and you want it as a gun, you can just go like that, and that'll fill in that piece. It doesn't look as hollow. So kind of like that. And so to convert this gun into a gun that he can hold, you're just going to take this and then flip this handle down, and then you want to make sure that you press that as far in as possible, and then this is going to tab into right here. So like that, and then you can take and wrap the fingers like that, and then this portion right here is going to tab into here. The problem with it last time was that this was too far up, so it actually didn't get far enough down in there to actually tab with the other version of it or with the version that came boxed. So you got that, and you just wrap his fingers around the gun. Oops, I untabbed it by accident. And there he goes. He has his gun, and he can hold it in his combiner mode. So, or you can take the gun and you can take it apart again, untab this, and then kind of work this out, undo that, undo this, undo that, where is it? Undo this portions, and then, dang it, this is the hardest part to pop off. You just gotta pop this portion off like that, and then put this stuff back together again. Alright, like that, like that, and then like that. And you take all that stuff and you can take this, and then you can so then you can take all this stuff and then tab it. You got to get it just right and tab it into here, and then it creates the filler for his arm. It makes it kind of look like there's, I don't know, like servos or something in there that work as fingers or something. But you're going to take Last Chance gun and take it, put it together, and it says to tab it, where is it? Right here. So it actually shows to go like so. So I guess it would make a gun that could shoot forward. I don't know, it doesn't seem to stay very well. It kind of seems to flop around a little bit. But like that, you can't even get it like that either. So, like I said, usually I am just going to take these off. It's because I don't want to lose these little guns. Alright, so to then attach the arms, we'll go ahead and rotate it back like that. And kind of, you got to get it on there straight, having this pressed in. Come on. There it goes. Take that like that, and then his other arms. There we go. And then for these little pieces, you're going to take, and you'll notice some little arrow looking things right here. And there's some little arrow looking things on here. You can take and tab those onto those little, no, they're not really arrows, they're more like triangles. But that's basically just so you have some place for them. And then again, if you want to store the sword, if you don't want him to hold it, you can actually tab it in right here again. And this time you can actually tab it like so that it doesn't look like a big lightning rod coming out of the top of his head, because he's actually tall enough this time to actually tab it in where it's going to face down. Alright, and so that's what he looks like with the sword on his back. You can take it off and tab it into his hand and he can hold it, wield it, stuff like that, just like the sword, or just like the gun. Real quick, I want to show you his articulation. His head can turn. It's really tight though. It can move forward, and forward to look kind of down and up a little bit. At the joints right here, you can move forward and back, but it's really pretty tight. I'll take that off so it doesn't fall off. Right here, he has a joint so you can move it up like that, and then he has another joint in here so you can turn that. Then for his elbows, really it's these joints right here, which are the hips, and then the knees. His fingers are individually articulated with ball joints in this knuckle, and then a hinge in this knuckle, and then for the thumb it's a ball joint right here, and then a hinge at the finger. He can turn, the wrist can turn, and I think that's just it. It's not on a ball joint or anything like that. Then for waist, he does have a waist swivel. You can turn that. It's on a ratchet, so it's pretty hard to do sometimes. Then the knees are kind of tricky sometimes, because to bend the knees you need to hold this in, because if you don't hold this in it's going to pop up, and then this joint right here, which is right above the connector, is going to actually bend, and not the connector, which is actually supposed to be the knee joint. It can turn. You can twist the cars or the leg right here at the knee because of the joint. And then let me lower this down. And then at the feet, they are plugged into, or not plugged in, but down here there is a, let's see if I can show you this. There's a ball joint right here, a very large ball joint, and then there's actually a hinge in this part, so you can actually bend the foot if you wanted to get like a pointed toe or something like that. There's no like toe articulation or anything like that, or anything back here in this heel. But here he is again. He's pretty good in size. He's a little bit shorter than Hercules, than TFC Toys Hercules, and he's about the same size as Bruticus Maximus with the Crossfire add-on kit, the Munitioner and Blower add-on kits. I don't have those built right now. I have those, but I don't have them built. And they're in boxes and some storage and stuff, and I just don't want to get them out right now. But with that, it's going to go ahead and conclude my review of the Fansproject CA-13 Diesel and Military Multiplier Kit. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Twitter. This has been Tambiota, and I'll see you next time.